Hey guys, we are live tonight, a little bit later than I usually go on, but I do want to talk about some things, some cool places you can go online to find inexpensive items, either for your guitar, mainly for your guitar, and so I'll wait a little bit till some people show up, and then I can start talking about that. And I will be playing the Kiesel Aries neck through. Turn my guitar down a little bit so you can see what that is. The Aries neck through. And what has gotten me on this kick here is I like the guitars that I have, the two Kiesels that I have so far. But the pickups, I feel like the bridge pickup in this is good. The neck pickup is pretty decent. It's definitely a little dark. Right, here's the bridge. So it's really meant for the metal style playing. But something about the 2, 3, and 4 positions just start cutting it for me. So I did some research online today, looking at some Seymour Duncan stuff and some other places. And I was like, you know what? There's a really good place that sells cheap guitars, but also cheap or inexpensive pickups. So we will be looking at that tonight. And let me go ahead and pull up the website here, or a web page of some sort, so we can see what that is. And this video, and very much like all videos, is sponsored by my website, drmcfarlandstudios.com. This is a one-stop shop for, once again, you can't see me for some reason. It's all good. One-stop shop for everything music theory, head rush. I have some backing tracks that you can purchase this year. 52 backing tracks for $20. It's a killer deal. You can't beat that. I am a producer, teacher, and tone crafter. So I do all those things. And so yeah, there's that. But the website I want to go to first is guitarfetish.com. And there's some other good options out there too. Let's actually go to StuMac to compare prices. And the reason why I want to go to these kinds of websites first is I want to try some different pickups in my new Telly and also this guitar, the Aries neck through, but I don't want to spend a lot of money because I've already spent a lot of money on these instruments. And let's see here. We got strings and accessories. I hadn't even really looked at their string prices yet. Looks like they mainly sell the main stuff, so I'm not too worried about their strings. Parts and hardware, jacks plus knobs, string trees, truss rod covers, tuning machines. Wow. Okay, so this is a good option here. So we have the electro socket jack mount. Oh yeah, cool. Those are neat. So there's some different strap buttons that are available. And they look pretty decent. I don't know why I'm not showing up in the picture here. What can happen if I press add? That's so dumb. For some reason I'm not showing up. I'm showing up here. But I'm not showing up when I go into my other view, which is fine. We got one viewer watching so far. Howdy, I am Doctor McFarland. Come on in. Let me know your name, where you're from, and what kind of guitar do you like playing? Do you like playing a Les Paul? Do you like playing a Strat style, Tele style? You know, what kind of guy are you? Let me know. I'm currently playing a Kiesel Aries Nick Through, and I'm also going through a CA3 Plus clean channel on the XFX 3, which sounds really nice. I'm actually gonna let me plug into the Kemper here. I'm gonna plug into some Kemper. I can't find where the input is. I can do this. I can't do this. All the way down there. Let me turn that down. Now, something very interesting here is the XFX3 rack unit does not have a foot controller that comes with it. You have to buy that separate. So this is my real fast. This is my other dilemma I'm going through. That sounds nice. Sounds really nice. Let me turn that down on the fader. I am loving the PreSonus Studio Live 24 because I have all the faders I need right here in front of me to control volumes and adjust things on the fly really fast. I can mute my microphone. Check, 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 check. So lots of muting. I can add reverb. I can EQ, compress on the way in. All kinds of great stuff. So, and it has 24 inputs, so I can leave everything plugged in at all times, and everything's just ready to go. And also, since it's a mixing board, I don't have to worry about hooking up to a computer in order to hear things through my studio monitors. That's one thing that I didn't like about the Apollo setup. The RME setup had a pretty good way of doing that, but not the Apollo. So for some reason on the stream view, I look a little more red, but in the camera view, I look fine. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I don't feel like I'm red. Maybe, but the background here is red, so maybe it's shining on my face a little too weird. Let's change the background and see if I can make it a little more even looking. It's downloading. It's going. Nah, I still look a little red. But anyway, I'm playing through the Kemper. I want to play through the Kemper because I already have a pretty good patch set up here. Apparently not. Not on that one. But anyway. So it's just a good clean tone. I can kick in some overdrive. More overdrive. Yeah, so I feel like that sounds pretty good. I got some delay on there, and I could kick it over to Atomic Bomb lead. Yeah, so there we go. Going over to the website here. There we are. All right, you're not going to be able to see me for a second. Hi, buddy. Play some country. Andrew and Aaron's in the house. I was playing through the fractal. Why is that not showing up? But I'm plugging into the Kemper right now because I already have some rigs pulled up that I like the sound of. And when I want to turn things on and off on the Axe effects, I have to use the front panel, and I just don't want to do that. So Aaron wants me to play some country. I probably will not play some country. But Aaron, why can't I not? Weird. I can't see myself in this camera view. Maybe I can doing that. Select a backdrop. Green screen. Anyway, I'm messing around with all this stuff, and I'm not sure why I'm not showing up. But anyway, let's look at guitarfetish.com first of all, and we're gonna look at their GFS pickups. Now, what's neat about this? Let me get rid of this window. What's neat about this is they are really inexpensive. I mean, they're just not very expensive at all. They have a quick plug pickup swap, which means you just wire everything up to your tone and volume pots, and the other end has like this little quick plug thing where you just literally plug them in and take them out and all that stuff. So we're gonna look at the fits the telly option first, and let me show you my telly that I'm thinking about switching over. If I don't get on a cable. All right, so this carpet. All right, so this is the Kiesel Retro Solo, and this has Seymour Duncan Antiquity pickups. They are not noiseless. They still have a little bit of hum. They are single coils, and they do sound good, but I feel like they're not as girthy as I want. And since this has a mahogany back and a maple top, I'm going to switch the pickups out to something a little bit hotter, and therefore get it more in that Les Paul land type of sound. And maybe I'll play you some of that here. Let me get you. So plug it in the telly, which has a gold top, which is very cool. It's very Les Paulish, but it looks like a telly. So it's a Les Paul wood type and finish, but it's a telly sound. Okay. And if I switch over to humbuckers, especially if they have a 4-cable kind of thing, I can do a 5-way switch right here instead of a 3-way. And that would allow me to do some other cool options. So like an overwound noiseless bridge. I wonder if this has a 4-cable something. Let me check this out. Okay, so there's the website. Let me see. We suggest 500K pots. So the impedance on this is 12K. That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot for a pickup, especially for a Telecaster pickup. So you can have the option for a detachable solder lead, quick plug compatible, which would mean I would need to wire the other end accordingly. But you're only going to do the quick plug thing if you want to swap out pickups a lot. And I don't really want to do that. So for instance, I like to consider this 24% Tele, 50% P90, and 25% humbucker all mixed up in a blender. You get the clean, clear highs, the big fat lows, and all that mid-range power to drive your amp. Hey, even our old Princeton sounds pretty hot in the demos we recorded, and through the Marshalls, it's quite the tone machine and dead quiet. So that's pretty good. These are thoroughly wax pod and very resistant to handling noise as well. Tired of that wimpy telly. Do something about it. All right, so I mean the pickups on this sound good. I mean it's a sound, right? Pretty good sound. All right, so that's the bridge pickup. Here's the middle position. And here's the neck. Now, I'm not hearing tons of noise out of these right now. Really not any at all, but I would like them to be a little bit more girthy, on the girthy side. Especially that bridge pickup. I just want some good meat. So when I kick in an overdrive. All right, so I feel like that's it's a good overall sound, but I want to try something different. And with the price of these pickups, this is a basically $35 pickup. So if I want to get a full set, I could pay around $60 and get a full set versus paying $200 and experimenting with something and then not liking it at all. Yeah, if it's Telecaster, pure vintage, noiseless bridge pickup. Let's see what this one does. Novin hard vintage noiseless bridge pickup. They are in stock, $32.95. Great spanky vintage tone with a little more muscle. That's what I'm talking about. I like muscle. Oh wait, you can't really see it, but I went to the lake this weekend. I got like a little tattoo right there. It's washing off, but it's fine. Now this one has an impedance of 9K. Now impedance means you take your little wire testers and you touch them, and you can read how hot the pickup is by how many winds the pickup has, and that dictates how much impedance it is. And the higher the impedance, the more it'll drive the front end of your dirt pedals and your amp and all that stuff. So if you want a really hot sound, get something 10K and above, like a Jeff Beck humbucker from Seymour Duncan. That's like 14 or 15K. It's super screaming hot, and it's definitely meant for high gain situations. Let's see. I do like this website. They give some good definitions here. So the classic fiber bobbin construction keeps the cool vintage look. Modern neodymium, that's not even right. Magnets provide driving a narrow aperture. Humbucker provides noiseless power and a clever shielding array, which uses the cast pole piece simply of a ground plane. Delivers a finely tuned vintage sound. Okay. These are thoroughly wax potted, and very resistant to handling noise as well. The vintage tone is there in spades, but we've overwound them a bit and changed the EQ to give you a bit more mid and lower mid punch or power without losing Hurley in the vintage jangle. Tremendous through a small combo amp. So that's kind of cool. So I'm not sure about their return policy, but it would be cool to try a few of these and maybe do a video on them and see how they sound. Andrew Collins is asking about pickups for a Strat. Search for a hot sounding pickup. Let's go for some strategy type stuff real fast because we can. So here's the ones that fit a Strat. And so we have the staggered pieces. We have Texas Alnico stagger pickups. I mean, $18.95. I mean, that is cheap. That is cheap. Very inexpensive. Now, usually I like to go for the ones that are noiseless, just because I like noiseless pickups. Like Lil Killer White Humbucker. Let's see here. Rare Rail pickups. Creambucker pickups. So here's a True Coil 2 improved noise canceling. It's kind of neat. I mean, noise canceling is definitely like a buzzword, but I just don't like having, lots of noise in my stuff. So like a 10K pickup would be more for like the bridge. The 104, there's like your neck. 106, 108, 105. The new True Coil 2 uses a dummy coil mounted below a standard single coil pickup. The dummy cancels almost all the noise, but almost none of the string vibration, yielding a beautiful thick Strat sound with very little noise. So that might be a good option, but it may not. You might be wanting some more hotter, possibly. There's gold foil, which is interesting. Texas wound, overwound. Anything overwound is going to be definitely a hotter sound for you, right? So there's the look of the overwound stuff. They're not going to be noiseless though. They're not going to be noiseless. Unless it says in here that they're noiseless. Yeah, these are not going to be noiseless, but the slick stuff. And then you got your active pickups, which I'm kind of done with active pickups. I don't really care for them all that much. Only for the fact that you have to plug them in. I mean, other than that, they're fine. Or some guitars have to have a 9-volt battery with them, and I'm not a fan of that either. So, let's see. Our best hot Texas set. So let's try that. The premium Texas set. So it's 9.8K, 5.5K, and 5.4K. You can get some nice covers for them. Many of you asked for a Strat pickup set that could hang with the big time Texas Strat sets. You know what I mean. Hot overwhelmed bridge pickup, but sweet vintage mid and neck. Finally, we have the new Hot Lead Premium Staggers. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, our website is called Guitar Fetish. Sorry, you're not seeing any of this. I'm sorry. You gotta let me know, guys. You gotta let me know. GuitarFetish.com. I forgot to switch views there. I'm sorry. So it's a hot 9.4K pickup. Let's see. To create a humbucking effect, the middle pickup is reverse wound. Now position 2 or 4 on your 5-way or noiseless. Well, that's kind of standard with most Strat style pickup configurations. I mean, I feel like these pickups in the Tele sound good. And I would need to get my multimeter out and actually test the how hot these are currently, and to see if I can go a little bit hotter and have them be noiseless. That's what I would want. That's what I would want. So be sure to check out guitarfetish.com. You can just look at all their other stuff. I mean, if you want a really inexpensive guitar, let's look at this one here. This is kind of cool. Now, you might not love the headstock at all, but the overall, like, let's look at this black one here. So for $250, you can get a Stratty type looking guitar. The bridge and is not going to be anything to write home about. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be good, but I'm very spoiled by my Reverend Wilkinson trims. Very, very spoiled by that. But I do like this blue in here. This is kind of pretty. That's a pretty guitar right there. This one's only going to give you a volume and a tone. Usually Strats give you a volume and 2 tones, which it is what it is. I do like their strap buttons. Let me check that out real fast. Guitar bridges, yada yada. Hardware parts. I'm not seeing them. Strap buttons. Huh. So these are classic strap buttons, but I want the ones that have like a really fat end on like a big ball on the end. Those are the ones I like. Redesigned chrome strap lock pair. What? That's kind of interesting. I don't know if I like that or not, but it's cool. The Fallen. Remind me your name again. The Fallen. I don't remember if you mentioned it last time. I'm trying to learn people's names. What brand of pickups are those? In what? These are called GFS pickups from GuitarFetish.com. The pickups in the Retro Solo that I got recently has Seymour Duncan Antiquity pickups, which I mean, they do sound good overall. But now that I have, the wood construction and the look that I like, I want to experiment just a little bit with getting a different sound. And like I said earlier in the stream, I want to get this. This has a mahogany, body, maple top, gold finish. This is kind of like a Les Paul style wood choice, but I want to get a slightly hotter pickups, the tele pickups, and it would be very interesting to know if underneath this cavity, if it's big enough to have a humbucker, because that'd be really neat to have kind of like a Blues Boy, G&L Blues Boy kind of look. So I have a regular bridge pickup and then have the big size humbucker in the neck. That would look really neat. Not sure if I need that or not. And I'm not even sure how I would route that out. I'd have to get a totally different pit guard for that, which I'm not, don't know if I need to go that far, but turn off this delay here. All right, so that's guitarfetish.com. Yeah, they are very, very good. I mean, very, very cheap. Lots of other options on there. Necks and bodies, electronics. You can go look at clearance stuff. There's even wiring diagrams, which is kind of neat. So I'm sure there's other websites similar to this, but this is the one that I've shopped at over the years, and it's been really good. Very fast shipping, very reasonable prices, very inexpensive. But anyway, let's go on to the next one here. This is going to be called webstrings.com. Webstrings.com. All right, so what's cool about this one is, the strings are just very inexpensive. But if you look at the About Us, is it About Us? So they started back in 1992 in San Diego, California. With those days, with the coming of the internet, more specifically e-commerce, the idea of offering the entire world high-quality American-made strings that were really affordable seemed like a worthwhile venture. So in 1997, we launched WebStrings 1.0, and we never looked back. So, and basically they do say that how we do it is they do get these strings very similar to where Diodario, Ernie Ball, and GHS get their strings from, because there's only so many string manufacturers here in the U.S. But the other string manufacturers actually put a lot of money into marketing, and webstrings.com does not. So that's how they're really able to save a lot of money here. So if we go to electric guitar strings, let's go to the nickel. So you can see if you bought one set, this would be $349 per set, up to 11 sets. Then 12 through 23 sets is $329, and then 24 and plus 24 and up sets are $309 each. So what I'll usually do, about once every 3-ish years or so, I'll put in a big order of, let me check my text here, what's going on here. Okay, cool. Let me bring up my calculator so I can actually know what I'm doing. All right, so 3.09 times 3.09 times 24. That ain't right. 3.09 times 24. Okay, is $74.16. And now they're going to add shipping on top of that, and it's actually free shipping in the U.S. when you spend 80 or more. So it's worth it to go ahead and get 25 or 26 sets. Or maybe you get, however many sets of electric. Maybe you want some sets of acoustic strings, stuff like that. Andrew, I have tried Stringjoy strings, and they are made here in Nashville. They are a good set of string, but I just don't feel like spending $13 per set. Especially when I want to restring, 7 or 8 electric guitars like I have. So having the web strings so cheap, and since I do have many guitars, that means I don't play on any one guitar just like all the time. So I feel like my strings last pretty long. Turn on some reverb here. At this point, I'll pretty much only change strings if I break one. Then I'm like, okay, it's probably time to change strings now. Go ahead and switch them out. But just looking at this website here, I mean, $309 for 24 or up sets is pretty good, and they give you a lot of different options. I usually get the jazz rock, which is 11 to 50s. But if I put in another order today, I may just go with the 10 to 46 and deal with those. Or I could kind of meet in the middle and do a 10 and a half, 13 and a half, 18, 28, 38, and 48. I feel like that's a pretty good mixture, where it's not super heavy on the bottom, but it's not super heavy on top either. This is really the G string. That's really where it gets you with those heavier gauges. So if you try to bend this third string here, which is called G, you have to put in just a little bit more extra muscle. These are 11 gauge, so these are the jazz rock set. Yeah, pretty cool. These feel good. I do like a little extra tension on my strings because I play a lot of rhythm, and I feel like I dig into the strings a lot. And yeah, so I like 11s, but the older I get, my hands are not as strong as they used to be. So maybe 10 and a halves. I could change it up. I could do like 5 sets of 5 to 8 sets of 10s. Try a few sets of the 10 and a halves, and then get the rest of them be 11s. So just so I have a good mixture of strings. Looking at the acoustic strings, they don't have any coated strings like I kind of prefer for my acoustics. Usually I buy elixirs, and that's usually once a year. I put a set of elixirs on my acoustic, and then they'll last me a full year, and it's, $13, $14 for that. Maybe $15 for that, so it's not a huge deal. But looking at the phosphor bronze, for example, we have $379 a set for the first 11, and then $359. Then it goes down to $339. So you're getting a little bit of a savings there by buying in bulk, and they have a few different options. So you can go full mediums, which is 13 through 57. Once again, I'm not showing on my webpage. Yeah, I like 11 gauge too. They feel pretty good. Extra lights, which I would never use on acoustic. They got classical strings, which is good. Let me show you how much these are here. $5.99 per set. I feel like that's a good deal because I don't change classical strings all that often. Let's look at the bass strings. I recently got a 5-string, so let's see how much those are. So $14.99 per set is really good for bass strings, and I definitely don't ever change my strings hardly at all on bass. So $15 for one-time purchase for maybe the next 5 years is pretty decent. Let's see what a 4-string is. So that's $11.99. That's even better. I still actually have a 4-string sets. I got like 2 or 3 years ago. I actually ordered them before I went on my Europe tour with my band Feedback Revival, just in case the bass player broke a string or something. We'd have some backups available. And I threw them all in my luggage case. See how much banjo strings are. $3.19 for banjo. Mandolin. $3.49. It's a pretty good deal. I would never buy 24 sets of mandolin strings. That's just way too many. But I'd buy like 2 or 3 at a time for $3.49 each. That's a good deal. Ukulele strings, $3.49. They also have picks, which I did buy a big packet of picks for the Europe tour. And this is $2 for a 10-pack. So I feel like that's a good deal. Then you got thin, mediums, heavies, and extra heavies. So usually for me, like a 71 millimeter or 96 millimeter is a good thickness. I never go with super thin. Super heavy. I mean, I got a few picks that are pretty heavy, but not that many. I want to know why my camera's not showing up. Camera A. Why is my camera not showing up? There's that. I want this other thing to show up. I want this to show up. That's so weird. Oh, there I am now. Why am I only half? This is so stupid. I could technically get away with something like that, but that's just weird. Aaron, I may need your help on that. If you're still watching. All right, so those are the 2 websites I suggest you look at when you want to find some cheap deals, some inexpensive deals online. Webstrings.com is a great place for strings, and Guitar Fetish is a great place for all things pickups. I'm really interested. Let's see here. Let's just see what happens. I'm really interested in pick guards. This may not even fit what I have. But if I had a pick guard that was... See, it needs to be flat. It needs to be straight across. There's none that are straight across. There we are. I need a pick guard like this that has a humbucker in it. This is aged white, and this is definitely pure white, so I don't want one that's aged. But as long as this template follows along with, the shape of this, which it would be very hard to tell if it did or not. It'd be very hard to tell. I have to do some measuring. Like I have to see how from that screw hole to that screw hole, what the width of that is. That'll kind of tell me a little bit better. Use a big honking humbucker in the neck position, combine it with your telly bridge, and you've got a killer hybrid. And yes, that's one of our vintage split pickups in the neck position. These are custom cut just for us. We've matched up the hole patterns so it's an exact fit for all genuine tellies and a good close fit on everything else. These use standard size humbuckers. Since these are custom made for us, we've snuck in the neck humbucker a little closer to the bridge to give you more snap and string definition. These are high quality guards, and don't be surprised if this is the same exact guard used by some very famous manufacturers. Please don't confuse this with the cheapo, thin single ply guards some sell or the Mighty Mite guards on eBay. Mighty Mite use their own shape and hole location. This is the standard vintage telly size and a hole placement. As with all pick guards, you will most always need to modify some hole placements when retrofitting a pick guard. So that's the fear I have. We could go with a mother of pearl pick guard, but that is not. Doesn't have a humbucker. I need one with a humbucker. So, all right, there we go. This is $20. Custom fit humbucker pick guard Fritz Telly white. Filtertron. Okay. Custom neck humbucker. The ultimate upgrade for a Telecaster intense white pearl 3-ply with a big honking humbucker in the neck position. Yeah. All right, so just imagine. I want you to imagine. It does seem like the right shape, doesn't it? So just imagine this guitar with a humbucker in the neck position. What do you think? What do you think about that? Would that look cool or would it be weird? Yes, I know. I'm not going to order anything. I would need to get into this thing right here and check it out. Which actually, let's do that right now. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. So I'm sure a lot of people are like, man, why are you going to doing that with your nice new Kiesel guitar? Well, because I'm an idiot. And I can. So I'm going to unscrew all these holes. Which won't take me forever. But talk amongst yourselves, will you? Talk amongst yourselves. And if you made it this far, I want you to go check out the website. If you haven't subscribed, first of all, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that down below. And be sure you like this video and possibly share it with a friend. Anybody who's looking for some nice, inexpensive strings. Man, either my screwdriver is not very good, or these are very tight screws. Phew, I'm already getting tired. Already getting tired. But this is what's cool about having the body and neck that you like. You can always switch out pickups for a reasonable amount. And I feel like these are waxed. They're definitely in there. Definitely in there. I shouldn't have to take off the strings at all. I'm just gonna lift it up. But my forearm is getting tired. Yay, I'm doing it. I'm making it happen, man. Making it happen. I need one of those drills. But what's dangerous about a drill, if it slips and it falls onto your finish, that's not good either. That's not good either. I've definitely been there. So I'm going to lift this up just enough to take a peek and see how big this cavity is in here. And if it's pretty big enough for a humbucker, I may order some a different pick guard and a humbucker for this guitar. Let's see. Oh, I got one more. One more to go. If you have another T style guitar, go for the humbucker or even the Filtertron. Filtertron might be cool. Yeah, that might be cool. I can check that out too. I can check that out. Offset 2 humbuckers. Yeah. All right. So let's see what we got here, folks. Let's see what we got. And that is a negative. Okay, we are not hollowed out under there, so we can't go. We can't go with a humbucker in the bridge, which is not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. I'm not too worried about that, but it is a bummer. I was kind of hoping I could put a humbucker there, but it's definitely not the case. Definitely not the case. So now I know how that is. I do have my Reverend Pete Anderson guitar over here. But since I invested in the Kiesel, and these have stainless steel frets, I will keep the Kiesel and sell the Reverend in this case. Man. I feel like a drill would speed this up a little bit. Maybe I'll just put a few. I'll just put 3 in for now so it kind of holds it in place. And then I'll finish it up later. So this is the most riveting live stream I've done to date, I'm sure. Just sitting here, unscrewing pickup. So yeah, so that settles that debate. So now I have to go back and just choose, basically just choose the pickup set I want. And let's see, real fast. Let's go in here. Noise-free pickups for Telecaster guitars. So Neovine bridge pickups, Neovine neck pickups, and matched pairs. All right, so that's what they look like. The new Neovine tele pickups from GFS finally delivered true vintage tele tone with no noise. Over 1 year in development, after hundreds of prototypes, we're confident the new Neovine pickups deliver more of the true tone that you've lusted after, with zero noise, feedback, or squealing. These are passive pickups, no batteries to go dead, and they retain the classic construction techniques and vintage appearance that is so important to tele players. We are proud to offer three different bridge pickups, 2 different neck pickups, and 3 different calibrated pairings. Cool. So for classic tele twang, go for the super spanky pure vintage. For a bit more power, go for the hard vintage. And for a thicker, more rounder, more modern tone, the Power Rock Bridge. Oh, yes, the Power Rock Bridge. That's what I'm talking about. So, neck pickup, the smooth, classic tele sound. Is fat, round, and very sweet, yet retains enough high end to hang with a strap. The fatter, thicker Power Vintage adds a little bit more fusion style syrup. I don't know what that means, but. Okay, that was listen for yourself. So the hard vintage noiseless pair, a little harder edged, a little more beef than our pure vintage set. A KP11 in the bridge and KPT21 in the neck. Still a nice balance, but more Tex-Mex bridge sound. The middle position stays very, very sparkly. That's cool. Let's check out. This here. So there's the pure vintage, the hard vintage, and the Power Rock overwound noiseless. Let's actually go back and listen to some sound examples, shall we? So here's a clean. Maybe. Here's the clean. Why am I not getting any output here? I should be. 29 and 30. Huh. For some reason, I'm not getting any output from the web page, which is very interesting. I'm not going to worry about that right now. You can check out the sound examples for yourselves. Put some power in that Telly young man. Is using the Power Rock Neovine for Telly. So for $34, $35, you can get a good rockin' set. Well, we have stayed true to the classic Telly bridge pickup appearance. Classic fiber bobbin to plate and 6 exposed tail pieces. We've overwound this narrow aperture humbucker big time. Big time, man. I like to consider this. Okay, so this is a 24% Telly, 50% 90, and 25% all mixed in a blender. Okay. Yeah, this one I looked at earlier. So I definitely am all about that. I'm sure it is pixelating. I didn't have enough internet speed to have high quality video for some reason. So I'm probably streaming in a lower quality. But it looks fine on my end. So it might just take it a second to might take it a second. And it's in stock. All right, so let's go and choose Let's just say, for example, and for fun, we're going to add this to the cart. And we will continue shopping. Okay, so there's that. Let's check out the neck pickups. So we have the overwound neck pickup. And we have the pure vintage neck pickup. Thoroughly wax potted. Overwound is 8.6K for a neck pickup. That's pretty hot for the blues, but enough clarity and pick attack to not sound like a box full of mud. And it's totally noiseless. Great. That's the words I've been looking for right there. It comes with a quick connect option. We can take that off, which is kind of neat. Jack this up as close to the strings as you can for maximum performance. All right, so we'll add that to the cart. Oh, really? Quick plug version? What if I don't want the quick plug version? I'll have to figure that out. So for about $70, you can get a new set of tele pickups. This is nothing dire that I have to do right this second. But it would be neat eventually. I feel like they are Alnico pickups, possibly. Let's see what they said. It doesn't say, but the buzzwords I'm seeing are no noise and 8.6K. That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. So however they're getting it to make it be that hot, it's fine with me. Fine with me. Jack diminishes. So you gotta watch out for the quick plug option there. All right, so I mean that sounds pretty good. But I would like for it to have a little bit more mid-range focus and some more push into the front end of that amp. Just kind of tightening it up a little bit. So, all right, guys, that's all I'm going to do for tonight. Thanks for watching. Please check out guitarfetish.com. Check out webstrings.com. I'll leave a link for these down below in the description. Also, while you're down there, if you want to order anything through Amazon or Sweetwater, use my affiliate links to buy a new guitar, buy amplifier, buy, whatever you want. But don't buy strings from there because you're going to webstrings.com. And don't buy pickups from those places because you're going to Guitar Fetish and buying some really cheap, inexpensive pickups that should sound pretty good. So, And I turned the air off before the live stream, and now it's really hot. So it is time to go, folks. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. I am Dr. McFarland. I'll see you in the next video. Keep rocking.